afternoon. It's Friday again. It's 2 o'clock. It is now May 28th in 2021. I'm just unwrapping my cards. Going to be using my deck once again, the Wisdom of the Garden Path, which they're awesome cards. Even if I say so myself, they really are awesome. Oh, and I obviously have been arranging them because the other day I used them and they were half up and half down, if you know what I mean. So I am thinking about some really, hey Carol, we've got lovely energy coming in June for those who are open to it. Hello Cookie, my goodness. Everybody's on time today, even me, imagine. Okay, so June, we have lovely energy coming that is all about who we are with other people. And I guess maybe it speaks to the fact that certainly where Cookie is and where I am, there's beginning a tiny bit of loosening up that I'm hearing about. I have to say I'm not participating in it, but I'm hearing about it in terms of meeting and greeting other people. So Carol, what energy is with you? Hey Melanie. Oh, it's nice to see you. Yeah. Carol for June. All right. I have no idea what's going on in your world, Carol. The cards want you to be aware of the energy of design. It's number 14. So that is, the one is you, your central identity, your being. And 4 is that solid foundational things with 4 walls don't fall down, right? So, and we're adding them together to make a 5 for expansion and growth and change. So just as the Queen Anne's lace, if you follow it down, each of those little florets has its own tiny stem, but they very soon join together into a single stem that goes down into the ground. The design is incredible. There is no human engineering that comes anywhere close to being the design of a Queen Anne's lace blossom. The energy here is about connecting to the design of your life and the design that you want it to be and how you want it to organize, because Queen Anne's lace knows what it's going to be before it gets to the top of the stem, right? So this is about you designing the future that you want to see, you being the architect of your life in June. If you don't know, it's for some reason this keeps coming up for me this week. The quote from Alice in Wonderland, where Alice asks the Cheshire Cat which way to go, and he asks, what's your destination, or a question that means that. And she says, I don't know. And the Cheshire Cat says, well, in that case, it doesn't matter which road you take. And that is always true. And sometimes this card comes up for people who feel a little as though they're drifting. And that may be because you don't know and you haven't defined where it is that you want to go. So in June, making a design doesn't have to be for 5 years or 10 years. It can be for where you want to be by July. But just have a clue of the direction that you're headed in, and sit with that and be with that, and let the universe show you how to get there, right? That makes sense? All right, Cookie Francis. It is good to see you. And then Melanie, I will draw for you after Francis. Absolutely. So here we go. there's an interesting. This is about decisions. Have I seen you with this card before, Francis? I'm not sure. Number 26. 26. So this is about other people. The 2 is about relationships. So it's about both the other people in your life, and whether they're romantic partners, children, parents, the guy at the drive-through who hands you your Timbits, whatever whatever other people are in your world right now, represented by the 2. And the 6 is that place of community service, and how you benefit and improve the community by your interaction with it. Okay, and those are adding together to an 8, which is that lovely balanced symmetrical flow that allows all things to move. So as you are making decisions, and I mean, every day is a decision, everything we do, not everything's about, shall I buy the $1 million mansion? Sometimes it's about, will I eat now, or will I go and check on the neighbor? um, there are small decisions, there are big decisions, everything is a decision. And as you consider your community, people around you, and you consider how things are improved by what you are doing, then you bring the flow and the balance by making those decisions. And sometime, if you go to your neighbor to check on them before you've eaten for the day, and you crumple in a faint on their doorstep, you're not improving their experience of life. So making sure that your decisions do serve everybody, especially you. You're no good to anybody if you're not looking after yourself. Hello, Tanya. Good to see you. I'm going to read for Melanie now, and then for Tanya. So this is, it's lovely to see people. My goodness. All right, Melanie, who I was sharing with her yesterday a post from another site that I'm on, where somebody had had some extremely bad experiences with hairstylists, and it wasn't local, and it wasn't anything to do with people who have brains like Melanie does. It was for people who just very much live in a cosmetic and surface experience, and pass a lot of judgment. Yes, it wasn't fun. Anyway, so it's got nothing to do with anything. I am reading for Melanie, the intelligent hairstylist, who is nice to people. Okay. Oh, well, this fits. And this really, really fits the energy in June, because this is number 11, and it's empathy. And I know that you have empathy with all kinds of people. It's not just about clients. June is the 6th month in a 5 years. So when we add the 6 and the 5, we get an 11. So this tells me that you're pretty aligned with the energies that are going on. That yellow is for the solar plexus chakra. It's that place where our identity sits, where we feel our self-awareness and our self-esteem, and it's where we honor ourselves and celebrate ourselves. And when we are fully invested in knowing who we are, and what we're doing and why we're doing it, and how awesome we are in the world, that is when we're able to look at other people and see how awesome they are and have empathy for their experience, no matter how different it is from our own. So the two ones is very much about the two individuals side by side, like each other but not each other. And then they because we always add up to a single digit, or almost always in numerology, they're adding up to a two, which is the number for a relationship. And it's when you can be whole in yourself and see them as whole in themselves that you can form a relationship that's based on empathy and on a mutual honoring. So I'm not sure, the fact that it's a two suggests it is about community, about other people. And it may be that in June you've got new people coming. Maybe you're going to get to open up and welcome a whole lot of clients. I hope that's part of it for you. Really, really nice. Oh, and Tanya's giving you rave reviews down here. Great at hair. Woohoo. So that's nice. That's a good card. Love goldenrod. I've probably said this many times, but my grandmother, when I was growing up in England, my grandmother used to purchase goldenrod to put in her garden because she thought it was beautiful. And then, lo, these many decades later, I have had the chance to live in places where it grows wild, which is just such a shift, such a strange and wonderful difference of perspective. Very nice. I like it. All right. Tanya, I'm going to read for you. I've quit asking for your permission. I'm going to assume you'll have to tell me if you ever don't want me to read. It's as simple as that. So Tanya, for June, first of all, the card says you're going to spend more time with Jo. Just saying. Okay. You're welcome, Melanie. Okay, we have allowing. Number 6, we're back at that improving the community again. That's not the first time we see it. I'm sure you've heard me talk about these raspberries, about their permissiveness and their willingness to allow for snow. They can't change whether it snows. If they try to stay upright in their natural growing position, the snow, the weight of it will break them. So they essentially lie down. They bend over. They offer their backs to the snow. And okay, the minute mark is 13. Debbie, have a great afternoon. And it will be soon. Allowing, even when the conditions feel very negative, and the snow coming down on a raspberry cane, it is cold and wet and heavy, and raspberry canes are light and tall and not made for a lot of weight bearing. So it could be a very, very negative thing, but by bending over, they allow the snow to do what the snow is going to do, whether they're involved or not. They can't resist it. And they survive. Once that snow is gone, whether it melts or it blows away or whatever, the raspberry canes are able to stand up in the spring and just get on with what they were doing in the autumn, right? So it's very much about not trying to change reality, dealing with what is in front of you and not letting it break you, because if you can't change it, you can't change it. Hello, Penelope. All right, I'm going to read for Debbie, and then you are next. Yes. Alrighty. Tis good to see you. I love that Debbie came in and just went out again. She watches the recording. As any of you can, it is here. And if you are watching the recording because you weren't here at all, then please like and follow the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, because once I start marketing that channel, it will make a difference. At the moment, it's sort of a bit stagnant in the water. All right, so where were we? That was Tanya. This is going to be Debbie. All right, Debbie. Nice. Okay, anticipation. That is so lovely. Number 24. We've got a real theme with sixes going on today. So, first of all, I want to say that the blue, very few blue skies or blue flowers or anything blue in this deck. This card is very tied to the throat chakra, which is represented by the color blue, and is about communication, all communication, whether it's spoken or sung or written or painted, or all the different ways that we, or danced, all the different ways that we communicate ourselves. So this could conceivably be something to do with, oh, I don't know, writing a book maybe. The two is about your community, about your relationships, about the people who are around you, and who you are when you're with them, which is important. The 4 is that solid foundational energy that is at the base of all stable growth, and we add them together, and we get the 6, which is about service, which is about bringing happiness and beauty and music into your community, and helping people to feel better, and letting everyone become their best self, even as you're doing the same thing, right? So the 24 is important. The caption on it is anticipation, because these buds, these leaf buds, are just so close to opening. It's very easy to feel that they're anticipating the next step, that they know they're going to be able to photosynthesize really soon. As soon as they can get some surface out there into the sun, they can start creating plant matter from sunlight. How miraculous is that? We should all be anticipating our own day-by-day progress in terms of the fact that physical life on this planet is just absolutely a miracle. Really is. Love it. So anticipate. All right. That was for Debbie. Next one's for Penelope. I see Tanya asking difficult questions. I would ever consider, for sure. What I would need is the support of all the world to please let me have a month when nothing else happens except everybody sleeps and I get to function and do stuff that needs to be done. And maybe I'll catch up with my list. I don't know. All right. So Penelope, I am doing great. Thank you, Penelope. Thank you for asking. I'm very happy and well. Okay, Penelope. Number 3, which is your point of inspiration. Moss on the forest floor, in amongst all the dead leaves and twigs and lifelessness that is there, and yet the moss has found the resources it needs in order to grow, to send down its roots, to produce green from the little bit of sunlight that gets through the canopy to it. It the 3 point of inspiration is the place where your hunches, your intuition, your sometimes dreams, images that come to you in dreams, um, impulses when you suddenly think, I absolutely have to go to that store today, and then when you get there, there's something amazing that you've been looking for a month. That's 3 energy that comes through you. And there is something really, really good for you. There is a resource in some place that you're not expecting it. This card is asking you, and this we intended this to be for the month of June, so it's for the next little while. It's asking you to be open to those inspirations, those strange callings to go places that you wouldn't usually. Um, um, the there is stuff, and some of it you might not even realize that you need it. It's not necessarily on your shopping list, but when it shows up, you will realize what an enormous benefit it is, and you'll be incredibly grateful. And it'll be such a surprise, and everything's going to be so much improved for you when these resources start to flow. This is not a time for you to be really, really blinkered about what's going on. Take time, and even if you're not going outside and doing other stuff, just being open when you see a post on Facebook that makes you, oh, I wonder what that is. Click through, go search, or take the phrase and take it to Google or DuckDuckGo and go look and see, because there's stuff, and there's stuff for you, which is really, really nice. Okay, Cookie, that's kind of you to say. Yeah, I wouldn't leave for a month. It's true. I have planned some time off later in June, and I'm still going to do my Friday lives because I love doing my Friday lives. I really do. So yeah, there is another deck of cards at the very earliest planning stages. I don't know. I'm not putting a deadline on it right now because honestly, I am busy, which is wonderful, and I love being busy, and this is not a complaint. There's so many things that I want to do, and I don't get time. It makes sense for you right now. Good. Oh, Penelope, that pleases me. I love it when that happens. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I love Fridays with you. Oh, throwing cards. Okay, if nobody new has come in, I'm going to pull a community card for the people who are on the video, or if anybody's lurking. I can't tell because I did practice a little bit, and I have not made peace, but I have found familiarity with this new format. So it's a little less fraught than it was last week. And I can tell that there are not any lurkers. That's a thing. All right, so for a community card, for the people who are watching from some other place on the time and space spectrum. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so 35. Curiosity, the sunflower that turns its face to the sun and tracks it across the sky. Make sure it doesn't miss anything. What's the FOMO, the fear of missing out? There's maybe a little bit of that kind of energy for some people. Just just don't want to miss anything, and that's all right. 3 is that point of inspiration that we were talking about. 5 is the number for growth and expansion and progress and change and adjusting to new stuff, which this year has a 5 energy, and we're all adapting ourselves and our lives and our ways of being and moving. Very, very apropos. These are adding together to an 8, so we're back at that place of flow and symmetry and balance and fairness and all the things that an 8 represents. And it's in our curiosity that we can find balance, and we can find the two sides of the argument, right? The 8, it's a little bit like looking at both sides of a coin at the same time, the way an 8 is shown. So it's often about doing the research, about learning about the other side, and it is only through curiosity that we're going to learn about the things that are not directly in front of us. So researching and learning and following our curiosity. And whoever we just talked to, was it Penelope that I was who got the 3? Yeah. Um, Being curious enough to follow up on whatever strange and wonderful things appeal to you. I'm so glad that made sense to you. It always, I have great faith in it. I know that it's going to be right, and I still get really, really tickled when somebody confirms what has come through. So that's so cool. I like that. All right, so good card for the community. Is there? Can I read from Mark? I believe I can. I will. So for Mark, in the month of June, okay, Mark as number 28. We're getting into the 8s again. This is the leadership card. Yes. Looking at it, thinking I didn't check. Yes, I should know this by now. These new growths. This is springtime and fresh new growth coming with the new season, and these new shoots that are on the end of the limbs. They're called candles, and they will flesh out, if that's the right word. They will grow long needles over the course of the season, and then next spring there'll be another shoot like this. A little like living with an adolescent. Shoot, get tall, and then fill out, right? So these candles, this it's a wonderful metaphor for leadership, because the person who can hold up the light and say, follow this, is going to lead people out of the darkness. The 2 is about community. 8 is about having that lovely flow and balance and being just and fair and understanding all the sides of the argument. And they're adding up to 10. 2 and 8 is 10. So that's the 1, which is Mark's central identity, and the 0, which is all things and all of time and space, the entire cosmos. And then we add those together, and we get the cosmos within Mark, and we get the wisdom that is Mark's, and we get the light showing through Mark as he sets an example and shows the way to go and leads people forward. And that it doesn't necessarily mean that he's at the front of a parade, but he is setting an example as he moves through life, and people are paying attention, and they're following. in their own way. They, their lives are impacted by Mark's leadership. That's very cool. Okay, all right. Is there anybody else? Hey, Laurie, how are you doing? That's nice to hear, Carol. Laurie, I see you say yes, please. I'm shuffling for you. And I would love to know that you are well. I saw pictures. Oh, and I heard about yes. So let me know how you're doing. It is good to see you here at least. Okay, so we're doing energies for June, Laurie. And I do hope that your June is a better shape and a nicer smell than your May was. Okay, well, this rather fits. It's number 13. So the one for you, the 3 for inspiration, and yeah, hanging in there. The 3 for inspiration, for the information that's coming through from the cosmos, and they're adding together to a 4, which is that solid base on which to build. And I know that's you're yeah, struggling to build the foundation. You really need something stable on which to start moving forward. I'm aware of that from what I've seen. So I have no doubt that you will survive and thrive. But in the moment, it is not much fun, and I understand that. This card is discernment. It's mock orange in bud. It's a mock orange, mock because it's lying to you. It's not an orange. It may appear like an orange. There may be lots of attributes about it that are like orange blossoms, but it is deceiving you. It's only pretending. So as you are coming, bringing together whatever is coming available to put down for your new base, for that solid 4 on which to build, this card is asking you to be very careful and to pay attention to anybody who's giving you a line, who's going, oh, look at me, I'm an orange blossom, sign here, um, because they're not necessarily an orange blossom. So bringing yourself back, you don't owe them any kind of courtesy that says you're going to sign without reading, and you don't owe them any honoring of them that dishonors yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? So using your knowing, when you hear the little voice go, oh, this person, ugh, don't like this person, just because you need what they say they're selling, that doesn't mean they're going to give you what you need. But listen to the voice. You don't have to be taken in. You don't have to be, and you won't be, because we've had this conversation now. As little girls growing up back when you did, there was a lot of emphasis put on being nice and being kind, and even being obedient and doing what you're told, and all of those traits that really served the adult world when you were a little girl, and they do not serve you anymore. So it's not about punching people in the face, but it is about not punching yourself in the face, making sure that you are your own best advocate, and that you can say, wait, don't, here is the line. I'm going to read this document before I sign it. There's nothing wrong with that. That isn't rude, and that isn't wrong. That is just Laurie standing up for Laurie, and if not you, then who? But it does require you undoing some of that early learning that we were given. And I'm really sorry about that. I'm so sorry that you're struggling. But you are learning every day. You are you can smell it. It's like a bad fish. You know what needs to happen now is for you to say to your nose, thank you for catching that smell. I'm not going to move forward now because this fish is bad. Hard. It's hard, I know. But your time has come. Oh, goody. Oh, she may consider you for a reading. Well, isn't that kind? Hello, Leah. I'm going to try and eliminate this spammer as quickly as I can. And hide. Okay. So I think I'm done there. Gosh, they're quick, aren't they? Really, really. Okay, so, all right, Leah. I think Leah is a real person. Yes. Oh, dear me. So, nice to meet you too, Leah. I'm reading from whoa, dear, throwing things around. The Wisdom of the Garden Path Oracle card deck. If you would like me to draw for you, my intention today is to look at the energies of coming around us in June, because it's going to be June in 5 minutes. I cannot stand it. It's wild. Yeah, yeah, you are for real. It is good. So yes, just confirm that you do give me permission to draw for you, and I will do that. And okay, I think I got the spammer stopped. Sometimes I think it's just the same one who comes back week after week with a new name, and other times I'm not so sure. It's really, and I guess the spammer was a real person too, Leah. I'm not suggesting it was anything inhuman, but you know, it does frustrate me. Okay. You would love one. Thank you, Leah. So it's nice to meet you. It's lovely that you're here for the first time. Pleases me greatly. So for Leah, oh, nice. We have optimism. They're like happy faces in the field. Number 16, which is an awesome number as well. So I'm since you're new, my primary first calling was as a numerologist. So I love the numbers on the cards. One being that seed, which is Leah, that has been Leah since the beginning of all time and will continue to be until the end of all time. 6 is the number for in the easy definition is service, but it is about how you bring service to your community, whether you're bringing music or beauty or painting or kindness or breakfast bars, whatever it is that you building a basketball pole for the kids to play on, whatever it is that you do that comes from you or through you into your community and makes things better. And sometimes it's just about being nice to people on the street, holding doors open for someone who's got packages, right? There's so many different ways that we serve our community, and at the end of the day, people are better because they've had an encounter with you. So that is the 6. So optimistically speaking, we have you and we have all these lovely acts of service, and we add them together. Yes, indeed. we get 7, and 7 is the teacher. It's the first of the spiritual numbers. It is the one that you both become the teacher who is learning, and you become the student who is teaching, right? That's all contained in the 7. And all of that is such good news, which is why this is optimistic. And the more we learn, the better things look ahead of us. The more we're able to connect with the the role that we have carved for ourselves, then the more optimistic we can be, and share what we found with other people, and be anticipate them finding their own joy too. So good. You are welcome. It is lovely. Yeah, it's a nice card. So I know some people take screenshots of their cards on these lives. So if you want to do that, I'll hold it up a bit longer. This deck is available at my website, which is www.joleath.com, and it's spelt the same as this page, JOLEATH.com. And that's a huge service if you're helping people to see context. That's wonderful, Leah. Where are you in the world? It's lovely to have you here. I'm in Ottawa, in Canada, and I can never predict where people are going to show up from. It's lovely, lovely, lovely to have you here. I'm glad this all makes total sense. That's kind of why I'm here, is to help people make sense. All right, good. Thank you. I do have a newsletter you can sign up for on the page, and in fact on this Facebook page there is a place. Well, welcome from Northern Ireland. How wonderful. My oh dear, is this becoming now just a really bad trope? My dad is from Liverpool. Was from Liverpool. He's gone back to non-physical now. But it used to be the joke when he was still living that the people of Liverpool considered themselves foolishly and comedically to be the capital of Northern Ireland, which yeah, maybe that belongs in the last century, and I should stop doing that. Yes, across the water, indeed. It is a very eclectic population. Liverpool being a port city as it was. Your dad was Scottish. My DNA on my mum's side is all out of Glasgow. Love that. I was born in the north of England. It is amazing where we end up. Different. There is a bit of history. True story. True story. Yes, love Liverpool myself, although I haven't been there for a considerable amount of time. All right, is there anybody else? I'm not seeing. My dashboard isn't showing any new people. Well, yeah, true. The Irish diaspora, there are Irish people pretty much everywhere where there are people, right? It's wonderful. Incredibly adventurous and brave and courageous people, I think. The Irish. It's lovely. All right, so if there's nobody else in the minute, I'm going to set that deck aside. I have my the Findhorn Angel cards, so I will draw these for anybody who wishes one. I don't know who's here. Oops. They're the little teeny tiny ones I need. I guess I'll use this box top because I can't. They don't shuffle quite the way that others do. Yes, there's a lot of history. Hey, Carol, you're still here. You're so amazing. I love that you stay with me. Thank you for that. It's okay. So the angel Penelope would like one. Cool. Okay, so this is for Carol. Oh, the angel of beauty. How lovely is that? And I think there's a book that goes with these, and I don't have it beside me. The angel of beauty, reminding you of your beauty, for sure, Carol, and reminding you that what you do um, brings beauty to the community. That you decorate the world in wonderful ways, right? That seems right. Okay, Penelope, you have the angel of willingness. That's very interesting. I do not know, and I've forgotten now what your card was. But where your it's sort of about releasing all resistance, right? This is about being willing, being open to wherever things are going to go. It's very much about openness. There's probably an angel of openness too, but I think that's how I would see that. And Leah said, no, Penelope said, Leah says, no restraint to gab on. That's all. Yes, you can have. Yes, so if there are three of you, then this is the third. This is the last. Okay, so Leah, you're getting the angel of vision, which is rather a lovely energy and rather speaks to what we were just saying about having the courage to adventure and to travel and be in a different place. This it's an angel taking a vision test, and the letter the chart that they're reading says soul, sight as in eyes, and future. That's really kind of cool. I have to say I've not examined these all with enormous detail. Okay, the beauty is just strictly a physically beautiful one, and I saw somebody making a comment about beauty. Did I lose it? Okay, maybe I was just having a, oh, I have a beautiful garden for all, oh, nice. Okay, so, and then the willingness. This is somebody who is, oh, who is very much in service. This angel is in a food preparation area. Willing. I think they're doing dishes. So it's about a willingness of doing doing the jobs that not everybody always wants to do, right? That being open to what's necessary. Eyes scare you. I do not like. Oh, there's another one. In movies and commercials and credits and things, when the camera is right in somebody's eyeball, I so dislike that. I have to look away. I can't be doing with it. It's a very. It's. I wouldn't say that they. Do they frighten me? That feels like the wrong word, but it's certainly. It gives me the cringes. Is that fear? I just, yeah, I don't want to be in your eyeball. Thank you very much. Or anybody else's. Okay. It's a spammer. I think I got her. I spend a lot of time tagging and banning people. It is Regina. How lovely to see you. Yes, indeed. Now you're in Ireland, aren't you? Leah is here. She's new. She's in Northern Ireland. So as compared to the rest of the world, because who else is here? I've got some Ottawa. I've got some Okay, Penelope has to go. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week. I will be here for sure. Okay, Leah, you're leaving too? Okay, so Regina. Thank you, everybody who is leaving. It's always, always one of the best days of my week, although most of my days are pretty good, I have to say. Okay, Regina, I'm looking at energies for... You're in Florida, Carol? That's so cool. Do you live and work and are always in Florida? Are you there because it's snowing in some places? I guess in May it's not snowing many places. New Zealand. All right, for Regina, for June. Okay. Well, that's lovely to hear, Leah. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I will look forward to seeing you again. All right, so Regina is number 12. We have the sumac. Love the sumac. It is a very, whoops, a very, my screen is slipping because I'm trying to read comments at the same time. Okay, there we go. So number 12, the 1 which is you, Regina, the 2 which is your community, the people around you, the people you deal with all the time, and also about the person you become when you're around them, because we are different. We're different with our mums than we are with our high school principals. We're different with the cashier than we are with the bank manager, right? That's it's what we do. We adapt and change, and we present ourselves differently sometimes. So the 1 is you, the 2 is you in community and community with you, and they're adding together to a 3, which is a place of creativity, of channeling new ideas and new things into the physical world. 3 is that point of inspiration. It's where dreams and ideas and hunches and out of the box thinking come from and come through you into the world. And the sumac has berries in berry season, which I guess is summer, isn't it? We get berries that can be crushed, and you can make ink, so you can tell a story in any of a number of ways with the ink. These leaves are telling the story of the whole season of this sumac, right? There's yellow and there's green and there's brown and there's nearly red and there's orange, all the different colors. The narrative that is your June, because we asked about June. There's diversity. There's a lot of differences, but it's also all coming back to that the central stem trunk that is Regina. Your story, how you present, how you choose to talk about your day, right? I woke up this morning, it was raining and it was grey and it was horrible. Or I woke up this morning and it was raining and it was watering the flowers, and it was the skies were grey because there was so much water coming down to feed the crops. Same information, different story that you're telling, right? And it's always in your control how you, the central you, interacts with your community and the people around you, and allows that energy to flow, that inspiration. And when you can find, I'm going to ask again, if you've got a quiet practice, if you ever sit and simply allow your wisdom to bubble up. And it doesn't have to be sitting. It can be hugging a tree. It can be walking a labyrinth. It can be running a running a long distance. Whatever gets you to the zone so that you can hear the inner voice. That is where the three is at its most potent. That is where the new inventions and things that you can patent will come through. You're welcome, Regina. I'm glad it makes sense. Carol, you were born in Washington and now you live in Florida. That's so cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. I've only ever been to Florida once, and it was oh, 2011 or 12. I think 11. I went to a conference with, dear me, a bunch of people. Christian Pankhurst. And the something academy. I can't even remember what. We were in Miami. We were at a resort that it was warm. It was off season for Florida because it was too warm to go to a resort, if you know what I mean. But that meant it was really good. I made some friends there, people who are still on my Facebook. There was a musician. Where's my phone? There was a musician who I bought her CD, and I've downloaded it now, and I listen to it every night as I'm going to sleep. What is her name? Denise. Album is called Numinous. I know that. Music. Oh, I'm nearly out of power. Library. Playlists. Numinous. Denise Hagen. Don't know if it was Denise or Denise, but it's lovely cello music, I think. You're in the middle of Florida. I haven't traveled in. I flew to Miami. I attended a conference. I flew out again. I have absolutely no context for the rest of Florida, which is a shame, and just, what can I say? I've actually traveled very little in the States. I've been across Canada a good few times. And I did, I think, twice. I drove someone from Arizona up to BC. So that was Kathleen. How lovely to see you. Time gallops away. I don't. It feels like about 300 years since I've seen you, so I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Would you like a card, Kathleen? I'm doing the Wisdom of the Garden Path, and we're looking at the energies for June. I feel reasonably confident that you would take one, but I will confirm. And maybe. It's so lovely, Carol, that you came, and I guess you missed the chance to be in this numerology class, but maybe the next one. I'm having the best time teaching numerology. I gotta tell you, it's just, oh, it makes all my cells dance the happy dance. It is great. I love numerology. All right, for Kathleen for June. Okay, so number 7, the teacher. This is, I used the phrase a little while ago about the teacher who is learning and the student who is teaching, right? 7, pure 7 energy. It is all about the learning of lessons, which doesn't come while we're reclining and somebody is feeding us bonbons. There are always challenges to help us to learn new stuff. And I know that your life is full of new learning. I also know that people learn from seeing you move through the challenges that present themselves and the changes that heap on top of each other. That just by doing what you do and being who you are teaching other people how to move through the world with grace. And that is just the purest seven energy. These beech nuts are not commercially. Um, I'm sure you would take the bonbons. Um, Beech nuts, they're not a good commercial crop because they're really uncooperative in terms of commercial harvesting. They ripen when they ripen and not before, and they can't be forced and they can't be rushed, and they each one has its own moment in time, and it will ripen and open when it is ready and not before. So that really reminds me of the idea that the teachable moment, right? When somebody asks the question, that's when they're ready to hear the answer. You can give them information all day, every day, but until they actually are open to it, it's just going to slide off because they're not there. So there's a lot of parallels, I think, between your life and the life of a beech nut. It seems like a wrong thing to say, Kathleen, but it is lovely to see you like that. I do. Yeah, bonbons. Some days bonbons would feel nice, wouldn't they? It would be. I don't believe I would last terribly long before I had other things I wanted to do. There's just always so much more. My birth number is a 7, my birth force. So I do know 7 energy. It isn't always comfortable, but it is certainly full of lessons and makes things more than they were before, for sure. I hope we can soon. You're close to me. We can maybe do a driveway visit soon. Carol, you say Spirit led you here to see me. Was it just Facebook popped me up for you one day? I know if I got it right, you're friends with somebody else who is a client. No, no, maybe I've got the wrong name there. There's somebody who. Yeah, oh, for sure. Lying around sounds appealing. Absolutely. I understand. I still say I would get tired of it fairly soon. I do. It's 3 o'clock. How did that happen? Wowzers. Yes, it does sound good. Let me know, because my driveway is always there. Spirit led you somehow. Well, that isn't that just somehow. We don't know quite how spirit works, but you keep coming back, Carol, and I really appreciate that. I love it that you're such a regular, and I really appreciate the fact that you stay from 2 till 3 no matter what. It is really nice. It is, however, after 3, and it is time to wind this down. So thank you. I know you would, Kathleen. There is totally an appeal to the thought when we can't make time to lie down. It sounds really good. It just wouldn't last, sadly. All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the video. If you're watching the video, really appreciate it. I will be back next Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern doing something similar. I'm actually thinking maybe a different deck next week. Maybe a ask your guides or trust your vibes or something like that. It's always fun. In the meantime, wherever you are, please take the utmost care of yourself and your community. Stay home when you can. Be really careful when you're out. And be good to yourselves. All right. Take good care. Namaste.